Oh shit, forgot to join the lobby. We'll do it right now. And I'm in the lobby. Good. Can we call it evening? At least afternoon. Good afternoon. I think we are looking for 14 drivers today. At least that's what I heard. Just taking a look at the YouTube chat. So I guess 2 more drivers that we need before we can start the race. And then we can begin. Second to last round of this championship. We already have a champion. I think from my mind it was Comment. He absolutely dominated the season so far. Got promoted to F2. But there's still a battle going on for P2 in the championship. A lot of drivers still able to get that P2. If I'm correct, there was which race? Japan got skipped, so that one is next week. Still 2 drivers left to join the lobby. We also still have 5. There is not a big chance, but there is a chance of rain. Rain does sometimes happen. I'll just mute all the drivers, so we don't have any interference. 15 drivers, I thought there were 14, but no problem. More is always better. The guys also have to be a bit careful with track limits today. It's quite easy to pick up a penalty around Interlagos, especially at the first turn, and a lot of exits. Long straight, so hopefully we're gonna see a lot of overtakes this race. Would be nice. And yeah, rain could also be possible. Standings. Taking a look who is still able to get at P2 in the championship. Because I guess there's a lot of drivers, some with a bigger chance than others. Yeah, the first one is names is not my best. So we have Panos, the Greek driver. He is in front with 164 points. He needs Edzek, who's behind him, 16 points behind. So it is possible. And we still have this one down. I guess it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers still able to get that P2 in the championship. Of course, it's hard for the ones with less points, like Yuka, but it's still a chance that they could get it. Out of that today. Who's going to win? I don't know. I haven't really followed the F3 season. I raced previous season, season 6 it was, I raced in F3. I know Maciek, I've raced him. He's a quick driver. But we also have some others. Edzek. Yeah. I don't really know. Depends. My bet is on Maciek. If I pronounce his name correctly. Waiting for the 4 p.m. notice. They've been told they can ready up, so let's go. 30 seconds. And we'll start qualifying here at Brazil. 15 drivers, one more than I expected. Let's see how it goes. Track map as well, so I know my way around it. Yeah, Interlagos, very fun circuit, a lot of high changes, lots of flowing corners. Also some fast ones, 2 pretty big straights, so a big chance of a lot of overtakes this race. We'll see how it goes today. Most famous corners, yeah, corners of course, the Senna S's, the first 3. No, actually 2. It's the first 2 corners. Also the first corners the drivers have to neglect. Just going to look at the things we can have here on the screen. The Let's get track map on. Lap data, also telemetry. We don't really need that. Tires, looks like Jesper is going on the medium. I see a Mercedes coming out of the garage. Let's hop onto him. That is the Mercedes. Also King going onto the medium tires. It's Super Mark. He's the first one going onto the racetrack to set his banker lap. A few drivers so far taking the medium tire, hoping to get a strategic advance in the race. Also Ivan Belov on the medium tires. Validates his lap, but it's only his outlet, so no problem so far. Is JJ Jones? Oh, he left the session earlier. Ah, that's all. Well, here goes Supermark right on board. Just for his first lap. So we just can take a look at the circuit here. The first corners I was talking about earlier. Watch out for this white line. Don't invalidate your lap on the inside. Keep it tight onto the second DRS zone. To the corner where Max pushed was up. In Brazil. Then this really fast right-hander onto the more slower part of the track. A little bit of oversteer from him, which will affect his time a little bit. Quite busy at the track right now. Easy to lock your front right up at that corner. Here downhill and up again onto the almost last corner. It was purple in second, but that's obvious. First one to pass it onto the really long back straight. No, not back straight, finish straight. Keep it tight here on the left, not too tight, don't invalidate your left. As he goes to the line with a 1:7.345, the first lap of today. And he's going to cross the line now. It was Jason, but he's a lot of time of his teammate, 1.7 seconds. There goes the Aston Martin, 1 second behind. And now the Hart starts his lap, no problem. Bangui, the second, can you look at this first? Yeah, of course. I'll just do it right now. Just having to put down the audio a bit, like this. Yeah, I have it quite up for myself. I like it. Now also Miguel and Edzek with a time very close to each other, only 15,000 between the two, but still the Mercedes driver on top as he goes into the pits. As now the Haas driver, we also have these two on a flying lap, but Kaisachi is the first one to cross the line. As he goes to the finish line, hasn't invalidated his lap so far, goes to P7 with a 1:8.6. Then we have the Red Bull and the Alpine, who goes very wide, doesn't invalidate his lap, fortunately for him, but lost a lot of time, I guess. Now with the Red Bull onto the start-finish straight, keeping it tight on the left. I guess he'll do it here as well, but he doesn't put in his first lap. It was an in-lap as well for Sosa. So quite fun to see a few people trying it on the medium tires, hoping to get that strategic advance in the race. I hope it works out for them. Oh yeah, and hit like or you'll get a puncture. And obviously you don't want to get a puncture when you're racing. So I guess you guys should all hit the like button. Also let me know who you think is going to win this race. The Mercedes of Supermark still at P1 as he invalidates his outlap again. But that's no problem. We'll put down the game volume a little bit more. Yeah, it was on 9. I don't tend to have my headset volume up a lot. So 9 is the perfect amount for me. As the Mercedes driver lets Banks by. Banks on his flying lap, by the way, will hop onto his car as he goes to the timing line, but he invalidated his lap, so this isn't going to be a timed run. Kaisachi, does he improve his time? Yes, he goes to P2. 5 hundredths behind the Mercedes. Now Jesper invalidates his lap, so that's unfortunate for him. This one won't count. Then the McLaren of Pachuca also going to the timing line as he crosses it, and he goes P2 also. Very close in the top. Almost 5 drivers between 1/10 of each other. In the Mercedes, Pachuca, Kaisachi, Miguel and Edzek. Only one driver still with a time on the mediums. It's Masiek. Still on the mediums, trying to improve his time and hoping he could get a better time in. As Sosa retires at the Senna SS. Don't know what happened there. Maybe we can see it here. With King. Unfortunately, just out of view. Yeah, unfortunate for him, he hasn't put in a time yet, so he'll probably start at the back of the grid. Hoping to get a few places at the race. As also Supermark retires from the session at the same place as Sosa. He was the one who was in pole, who had pole. So I hope for him nobody goes faster, as we now have Pangui on his starting his flying lap. Mercedes fortunately already out of the way. We'll just follow him. P2 in the standings right now, highest out of all guys who are racing at the moment. As Miguel now puts in the fastest time of the quali with a 1:7.1. Almost 2.5 tenths faster than the Mercedes. So he'll start at least from P2. As we have a yellow flag again, I guess it's someone just slowing down. As we now follow the Alfa Romeo drivers, goes fastest in sector 2 onto sector 3, almost all straight as he goes to the finish line, keeping it tight on the left hand side, and he doesn't take pole. 15 thousandths between him and his teammate Miguel, so a front row lockout so far for those two. I don't know, by the way, if it's raining in the race, so maybe if some of the drivers are watching, maybe they could let me know. I don't think so. As we just gonna look for someone. Everybody on the softs now. As King improves his time, only overtakes Edzek in the AlphaTauri. Just going to look who's putting in times at the moment. With Jesper, I think just starting his first lap. Also Banks with a slow lap, 1.12. Not as fast as he would like, I think. As I don't know if King made a mistake or he just went wide to let some people by. But he went off track as there's now a Red Bull coming up behind him. That's the Red Bull of Jesper. On his first flying lap. If he doesn't invalidate it. Very strange noises out of the engine. But that's just the game. So you have a yellow flag again, but that's just an AlphaTauri letting someone by. Now on to the start-finish straight. And DRS open. And he's going to put in a 17.6. Puts him in 10th place. Not bad. It could be better as Pachuca, the McLaren driver, takes pole by 2.5 hundredths. It's really close here at the front. Top 3, only there's only a gap of around 500 between the top 3. Also, the Red Bull and Kaishachi very close to each other, 3,000 of a second. I've just started to notice this is really close. So it's 9 drivers between 5 tenths. Doesn't happen every day. As I think Banks put in his first fast lap time, a 17.2. As he invalidates his in lap, puts in P4 by the way. So I think you can call that a successful lap. I think they're only able to get in 1 lap anymore. So it's all or nothing at the moment. Everybody is gonna start on softs, at least in the top 10. I don't know what the guys below them are doing. Just going to look at the guys who are maybe on a flying lap at the moment. Could be Maciek, as there is the Mercedes letting Banks by. Yeah, we're just gonna hop onto Maciek. I think this is going to be his first lap putting in, and he touches the wall, invalidates his lap. Yeah, got a bit too much on the curb, broke a little bit of his front ring. Unfortunate for him. Got a time in though. A 1 minute 8.1. But unfortunately that's the slowest out of everyone who has set a time. Now onto Edzek. He's going to the second to last corner onto the long straight. So watch out for this curb on the left hand side. Don't take too much of it or you'll hit the wall. Keeping it tight, very tight on the left hand side. Drifting wide again. Puts him P9. Oh, that lap wasn't any faster than his previous laps. Maybe this is going to be his push lap. But he invalidates that one, so that one won't count. Then on to Jason. A little bit of an improvement going into sector 2. Maybe a little bit of lag, gets on the power a bit too early. Little snap of oversteer. Sorry. Goes purple in sector 2. I don't know if that's a glitch or if he was genuinely faster. As he goes to the line and puts in a 17.2, goes P4, yeah. Pretty fast lap from him. I guess you'll be happy with that. Now a lot of drivers going back on track again for their last flying lap. I don't know if Pachuca is already on a flying lap. Let's just hop onto him. Fastest driver at the moment. Locks up a little bit into turn 4. As Kaisachi goes fastest. First one to go in the 1 minute 6. With a 1 minute 6:9.83. A 10 faster than Pachuca's fastest lap time so far. Let's just get that out of the way as he makes a little bit of a mistake. Gets his left front tire onto the grass, which makes him lock up. And he spins on the curb. Yeah, unfortunate for him. Reset to track. I don't know if it's allowed. But let's just pretend like we didn't see it. Miguel, we have a Mercedes and a McLaren going to the start-finish straight, but that were Jason and Pachuca, who weren't on a flying lap, as Pachuca retires from the session. Obviously, he couldn't do anything anymore. We're just gonna to hop onto the Haas. He goes into the pits. Then we have Alpha Tauri behind. That's the Alpha Tauri of Ivan Belov. As I think he improves his time. As Spangri says the fastest time of the quali so far, a 1:6.95, 300s faster than Kaisachi, who won't be able to improve his time anymore. Ivan Belov just in time to put in another lap. As we have yellow flags at the center S's. Don't know what that was about, as the Red Bull moves up a couple of places. Now Miguel with the fastest lap, a 1:6.8. Very fast lap from him. There's Aston Martin going to the timing line. But I don't think he will be able to put in a lap anymore. Is he finished yet? I don't know. As there's a Ferrari going by, that's the Ferrari of Banks. But I think he wouldn't be able to put in a lap again. I'm not sure, but I think this is it. Or does the Aston Martin have another opportunity to... Yeah, now it's only now the session is finished. I thought we were already done. Now there's Jesper going to the timeline, but he moves into the pits. Then we have Alfa Romeo here, but he's also on a slow lap. And we have the Aston Martin with the number 2 on it, going fastest in sector 2. Again, I don't know if it's a glitch or not. Will you see as he goes to the line. And he improves, goes to P6. Guess he'll be satisfied with that. Edsek goes into the pits. Already invalidated his lap time. And Ivan Belov, I think he's also on a slow lap. So this is it. Miguel P1 with a 1:6.8. Behind him his teammate 1.5 tenths behind with a 1:6.951. As Ivan just waves to you guys. Maybe not so happy with his result. Let's just see. So JJ Dog and who else? Yes, Sosa not being able to put the time in. So we have Miguel on pole, behind him Pangri, his teammate. Then Kaisachi in the Haas, Banks, Pachuca, King, Gui Road, Jason, Supermark, Edsek, and behind those Jesper, Ivan, Masiek, JJ Dog and Sosa with a free tire choice. So maybe an advantage for them. Maybe not. I don't know what the strategy is around here. I guess it will be dry, otherwise there wasn't a single reason why people would go out on the medium tire. Well, let's see what happens. And yes, it's dry. Don't know if it's gonna be like that the whole race. So both Alfa Romeo drivers at the front of the grid, maybe being able to help each other out. Yes, we're going to start in 5 seconds. Onto the formation lap. Is the pit stop strategy. It's soft to hard for the 1 stop and soft medium for the 2 stop. I guess most of the guys who were starting on the softs go for soft to hard. Very easy to save your tires with a possibility of a safety car here around Interlagos. Maybe with a big crash on the start-finish straight. Could take some time to clean up. We're just going to take a look at the tires at the moment. Where is it? Tire. So all of the top 10 starting on the softs. Then we have Jesper on the hards, going for a different strategy. Ivan on the softs, maybe not the best choice, but we don't know. Then both Masiek and JJ Dog on the mediums, and behind them in the Alpine Sosa also on the softs. So 12 people starting on the softs, 2 on the mediums and 1 on the hards. We'll just have to see how this unfolds. Of course, no penalties so far. Get that off. Just get the intervals for now. Let's get this out of the way so we can see all of the start. The Alpine of Sosa falling a bit behind the pack, but that should be no problem. Maybe the tires of the guys in front cooling off a bit more. And you need a lot of that grip going into the first couple of corners, trying to keep it on the track. Maybe some possible battles as we're lining up here for the Ero F3 Brazilian GP. Just waiting for the Alpine to go into his grid position. As we have green flags, I don't see the lights at the moment. I think it's 5 lights. And away we go for the Brazilian GP. Looks like a good start from both Alfa Romeo guys as we go into turn 1. I saw a McLaren going a little bit wide at the entry as we have one of the Alfa Romeo guys already in the lead. Both guys still at the front. Looks like everybody is going to make it through turn 1, 2 and 3. A lot of battles, of course. Let's get this again. So we have Miguel in P1. Again, Pachuca going wide as we have... Do we have a crash? Yeah, big crash. Red Bull out. Virtual safety car. Penalty for Sosa. Oh, sorry. Penalty for Sosa. Penalty for JJ Dog. Yeah, that's the annoying thing from safety cars. Just the slightest bit of contact can give you a 5-second time penalty. So the Red Bull of... I don't know how to pronounce his name. Gui Road. That's just how I'm going to say it. Already out of the race. Big crash. Going into sector... No, not going into sector 2. But in sector 2. Yeah, that's voice crack. Happens. Virtual safety car still going on. I think we're going back to race speed again. Looks like they're speeding up a lot. A few people going into the pits. So no full safety car. A lot of people going in the pits, by the way. I don't know if this is a glitch or not, but on my screen there's still a virtual safety car. But it but it looks like they're going quite fast. But still weaving, don't know if the tires are cold. I also still see yellow flags waving. And I think we're now on the way again. You can see the skid marks of the Red Bull. So a few people going into the pits already. As we have the Alfa Romeo being pressured by Banks and Pachuca behind him. Hoping to get onto that podium. Championship battle already over. So they don't have to fight for that anymore next season. As we now have Pachuca with the fastest lap of the race. As it's very close between these three guys. DRS enabled, so maybe a lot more overtakes so far. We haven't seen a lot of them. Yeah, these guys are very close. Just get the other gap to the leader. Yeah, 4 drivers almost between 1 second of each other. Banks trying to make an overtake on Pangri in the Alfa Romeo. But it's very hard here in these twisty turns of sector 2. But maybe with a DRS here onto the start finish straight, it will be easy for him. As we have a yellow flag, it's a Mercedes going off track. It's Super Mug retiring from the race, the second driver retiring so far. Now back to this battle. Are there being any overtakes made? No, but we have the Haas of Kaisachi overtaking Edzek. Also Masiek going into P8. Great recovery from him. He was far behind at the start of the race. Now back to these 4 guys again. Still very close. Everyone on the same tire. Yeah, it's just Miguel holding off Banks at the moment. Yeah, it's way too close between these guys. Don't know how they managed to keep it like that for almost 4 laps now. Strategy could also play a big role. As we have Pachuca going off track. I think he spun at the second to last corner, losing a lot of places, so it's him losing a few places. As Banks overtakes the first Alfa Romeo as he goes into P2, but also pressuring Pangri in the other Alfa Romeo, trying to get into the lead of the Brazilian GP. It's almost 3 right. Is it 3 right? Yeah, 3 right into into turn 4. As we have, I think it's Banks. Yeah, Banks leading. So he overtook both guys in only a matter of seconds. Great drive from him. Let's see if he can keep it like that. Obviously very hard without a DRS, especially on Interlagos with those very long straights. As he spawns, he goes just not into the wall. Yeah, maybe he felt a little bit of pressure. He was behind them all the time, so not much pressure at that moment, but he spins now. So both Alfa Romeo guys back into P1 and P2. Looks like the guys behind them just can't keep up with the pressure at the moment. With Pachuca spinning out. Now also Banks as Kaisachi goes into P3, overtakes Ivan Belov and the other Alpha Tauri. Great race from him so far too, as it's the Alfa Romeos going side by side, as it's Pangri going into the lead of the Brazilian GP today. But I don't think it's over yet. Let's hope a few guys can catch up to them to make this fight for the win even more interesting. So 2 drivers retired at the moment, the Mercedes and the Red Bull. Not that much, to be honest. Also no safety car. We've had a virtual safety car and a few people making pit stops. Let's just see who's battling who onto this straight. Ivan Belov keeping up with the Haas of Kaisachi, maybe looking to overtake him again so he can get in front again. I don't like this camera angle. Let's just look at their tires, because a few people have pitted so far. So it's Maciek on the mediums. He started on those tires, I think. So maybe a bit of strategic advance for him at the moment. Jesper still on those hards he started on. Then a few people on the mediums at the back of this race. Penalties, we don't have them, so that's nice. So the race will finish like this if the checkered flag waves at this moment, but obviously we'll have to wait until lap 36. Still these Alfa Romeo drivers yeah, that doesn't work. Still these Alfa Romeo drivers trying to battle each other, going for the race win, of course. But the Haas of Kaisachi and Ivan Belov are catching up as well. So maybe they should work together instead of against each other to keep them behind and not lose the position to them. Yeah, you can see the gap between Kaisachi and Miguel is decreasing lap by lap. As it's very close here at the back. It's Pachuca going around the outside of the Red Bull, but he just can't stick it. Maybe going for a dive bomb here. No, fortunately. But maybe with a DRS onto the start finish straight. We'll see. As he's going to pressure him. Going into the center SS. Jesper also has DRS. He is looking, but he doesn't quite make it. Takes a little bit of a different line. Maybe for that better exit, so he can overtake him here. Does have a better exit, as it's also the Ferrari guys overtaking each other. Banks goes past Maciek. And Pachuca also passed Jesper, so a double overtake. As Kaisachi now gets a 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings, as I told you before. Yeah, very easy here to get those penalties for track limits. Yeah, unfortunate for him. Let's see if he can overtake those guys in front and build up a gap, because he'll need to if they don't get the penalty as well. Looks like Miguel is falling back a little bit, maybe struggling with tires a bit more. So let's just see what happens here. Also a big group, no, not a very big group, but 5 cars here, as JJ Dog also gets a time penalty, as Maciek overtakes Banks again for that P6. JJ Dog with the 3-second time penalty, just like Kaisachi. Yeah, and now also Pachuca catching up to these 3 guys. Looks quite the same as the situation we had before. One guy chasing 2 cars in red, but this time it are the Ferraris. Let's hope he doesn't spin under pressure again, as also the Red Bull of Jesper catching up, hoping to gain a few positions here. He of course on the hard tires, a compound harder than some guys in front. As we have a pit stop, it's R17. Let's just see what he does and then go back into the other fight. He goes onto the medium, so maybe soft, medium, soft for him. I don't know. Let's go back to this battle. Banks closing up again. Yeah, great battle between these guys. I like it so far. I wouldn't overtake at that fast sweeping corner. Very sketchy. Not really a place to overtake here around Interlagos. As now the Aston Martin also gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits. As the Ferraris take a little bit of a different line. Don't know if that was intentional. Now Pachuca really close to the back of Banks' car. Maybe he can overtake him here, but obviously he does have DRS from Maciek in front, his teammate. As Banks now goes for the overtake on Maciek, he of course doesn't have DRS, goes a little bit wide. Does he stick it? Yes he does. Let's hope he doesn't get overtaken again here on this straight. He doesn't have DRS, now Maciek is the one with DRS. As Pachuca goes onto the grass, it's 3 right. As he makes a little bit of contact with Banks. Maciek overtaking Banks and Pachuca as well. Jesper is the guy who can watch it all. Now Banks going back past Pachuca again. As he makes a big dive bomb. A little bit of contact. Fortunately keeping it clean. Yeah, I think Jesper is enjoying it as he goes for a dive around the dive on the inside of Banks, and he makes it stick. So Banks, the guy who came out the worst of that situation. Yeah, gap's increasing a little bit. Maciek already building up a gap to the McLaren of Pachuca behind. As Jesper locks up, he of course on the hard tires, maybe getting helped by tire wear again. As we have a yellow flag, is what it was JJ Dog, and I thought I saw him reset the track. Let's not tell the stewards. We are still pretty close to Pandri, his teammates. Also Kasachi now catching up with Ivan Belloc behind as JJ Dog gets another 3-second time penalty. Does he retire from the session? No, he went wide. Maybe overheating of his tires from the spin earlier on. So unfortunate race for him at the back of the pack. Now let's get back to the fight here between the both Ferraris, a Red Bull and a McLaren. Gaps increasing again between them as Pachuca and Banks go into the pits. As Banks gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Wouldn't be too happy with that. Yeah, and there's just nothing you can do about it. Can't report it. It's just as simple as going too fast in the pit lane. As he almost spins on the pit exit. Fortunately keeping his car under control. So a really bad pit stop for him. Going onto the mediums as well as Pachuca. Let's just see, we have a yellow flag. I think it's yeah, it's JJ Dog retiring. Yeah, unfortunate race from him. Penalties. Maybe got hit. Ooh, I would watch out with that. don't do it too many times because you'll get a 3-second time penalty. Yeah, these three guys constantly trying to overtake each other. As we have a little attempt here from Kaisachi, trying to overtake the Alfa Romeo of Miguel. But he doesn't make it as the Aston Martin overtakes Edzek. I don't know who of the two will have DRS here. It's the AlphaTauri, as he is on the right hand side, make a little bit of contact. He goes a little bit wide, but he makes it stick. So Edzek back into P8 after he got overtaken. Yeah, a lot of overtakes so far. Nice race. No major incidents. Only the first crash. As we now have the Alfa Romeo of Miguel pitting. Let's look what tire he goes to. And he also picks the mediums. So you fall behind the not the Alfa Romeo, the Red Bull of Jesper. As Pachuca now with the fastest race lap time, a 1:09.7 I think. So you get that extra point. Let's just change the gaps to interval, so we can see the gaps between the guys. Now it's the Aston Martin pressuring the McLaren of Pachuca, but I don't think he has pitted yet. Let's look if we can see it. Detail stops, yeah. So yeah, a lot of guys going into the pit. Sorry that I just switched to this. The whole top 3 going into the pits. I thought I saw Kaisachi get a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So unfortunate for him. As also, who was it? The Alfa Romeos. Same as Banks. A little bit too early on the gas. Maybe cold tires. As he gets behind his teammate Miguel. Sorry. Yeah, so I think Miguel undercut his teammate. So great strategy from him, as it's now Jesper pressuring Maciek. Maybe looking to overtake him with DRS. None of them going into the pits. The gap is decreasing and decreasing as Jesper goes into the lead of the Ero F3 Brazil GP. Let's look if Maciek can overtake him again. No, he can't, but we see some overtakes here in this group of people. So Pachuca overtaking Edzek and the Ferrari of Banks overtaking the Aston Martin. Now let's see where battles are happening. AlphaTauri close behind the McLaren, as well as the Aston Martin, close behind the Ferrari. Still the gap between the Alfa Romeos isn't bigger than 1 second. These guys just, yeah, you could say it's just one car. They're just racing together as now Pangri goes for an overtake on his teammate Miguel. with DRS, as he also puts in the fastest lap, but that gets taken away by Kaisachi. But he still overtakes his teammate for P3, and I think it's the lead of the race as well, because the guys in front haven't stopped yet. Yeah, so this doesn't make any sense so far. Let's just wait for people to pit and we'll look at the position changes. As now Kaisachi is closing in on those two. As in general, the gaps are getting a bit closer. Yeah, a bit smaller. So again we see those four groups. As we have a yellow flag, it's the no, not the Alfa Romeo, Aston Martin. Made a little mistake, I don't know what happened exactly. Falling back a little bit now. Yeah, and we have the Alpine, as Kaisachi puts in the fastest lap of the race again. As we have the Alpine of Sosa. At the back, hasn't shown much this race so far. As Edzard now pits. He already made a pit stop, so I don't know why he pitted. Maybe front wing damage, maybe a different strategy. Now let's look to these three guys. With the Red Bull and Ferrari in front. But those two still have to make a pit stop. So if the Alfa Romeos are lucky, they don't have to fight them. But they'll just pit now. That's easy for them, as Sosa retires from the session. Could this be a possible safety car? Virtual safety cars, and it's a safety car, so great for the Red Bull and Ferrari of Jesper and Maciek. They could just get a free pit stop now. Still had to make one. Yes, as they both go into the pits, of course. That's what I would do as well. And we have Pangri also going into the pits. Ivan also going into the pits. I don't know. Yeah, they were on the 2 stop. So unfortunate for Miguel and Kaisachi, as Jason gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Happened a lot this race. I don't know if it's something that happens more often here in F3. But yeah, a lot of penalties for speeding in the pit lane so far. I think 3 or 4. Now let's go onto the lead driver. It's Miguel in the Alfa Romeo. But I think, just as Kaisachi, he still has to make a pit stop. Or he will have to make a very long run on those mediums. And I don't think they'll make it. Or he'll make it. Yeah, let's just look at... No, we don't want telemetry. We need the pit stops, yeah. So everyone behind Maciek has already made a second pit stop. So the top 4, I don't know if they still want to make a pit stop, but they'll at least have all the tires. Yeah, so Jesper and Maciek. Maybe, Miguel doesn't have that old tires, but maybe Jesper could win this race. I don't know how long the mediums could go for, but if all the other guys go onto new softs, I think the mediums could make it 4 more laps than those softs. So I think maybe Miguel or maybe Jesper is in the best position so far. Lap 22 by the way, so around 14 laps to go still. I quite like this race. Not too many safety cars. A lot of overtakes. Yeah, and if you just finish the race, I think it's almost going to be guaranteed points, so why not? I'd rather drive safe than risk it all. So a lot of people on new tires. So we could just say we have a second race going. A little sprint race, 14 laps. Almost everyone on new softs. Few people on mediums. 3 to be exact. As the safety car goes in this lap, so we'll hop onto Miguel for now. Let's get this out of the way. Yeah, I want the standings though. He can now decide the pace. With Kaisachi behind him, still with a penalty. Still weaving as he goes onto the gas. Kaisachi with a better start, with a better exit than him, but not able to overtake him as Maciek moves down a place, getting overtaken by the Alfa Romeo as well. Banks as well, going up a place. Edzek moving down. Don't know if he had a bad start or not. Kaisachi trying it around the outside of Miguel in the Alfa Romeo. Doesn't quite work for him. Both of these guys on the mediums. Jesper maybe looking to overtake one of them on his faster soft tires. As Banks now get a 3-second time penalty for multiple warning. No, not Banks, sorry. Yes, Banks does. And Jason as well. As now Jesper goes for the dive bomb. Fortunately doesn't make contact on Kaisachi. Yeah, Jesper could be on to win this race. Great strategy from him and Maciek to stay out that long. Now let's look what he can do to overtake Miguel. But he still has Kaisachi with a penalty behind. Now it looks like Pangri is trying to overtake the Haas of Kaisachi, which works for him. Miguel with a very strange line, as Jesper can already overtake him even before the straight, but Miguel with a little bit more straight line speed, but Jesper with the inside going into the lead of this race. Yeah, I told you, great strategy from him. Maybe could win him this race. Maybe should watch out for Pangri, very fast driver. P2 in the standings as well. Pachuca, by the way, gets a penalty, 3 seconds. As we have a yellow flag, it's... Oh, yes, it's Ivan. Looks like he spun out. Don't know if he made contact with someone. Now, other Alpha Tauri moving up some places, overtaking the Mercedes of Jason. As Ivan spun again. Yeah, unfortunate for him. Overheating his tires as DRS gets enabled. The teammates overtake each other. Yeah, Pangri looking for this race victory. Also great strategy from him. But so far my driver of the day is Jesper. A lot of overtakes here at the back as the Aston Martin pits. Jason overtaking Edzek again. Those two guys in a battle of their own. As we have a little train forming here as Kaisachi gets another time penalty. 3 seconds again. Yeah, very unfortunate for him. Maybe not even able to get his podium anymore. Let's look to the laps as Kaisachi, he spins, same place as Ivan. Very unfortunate for the Haas driver. And just the same as Ivan, overheating his tires and spinning again. Should watch out for the AlphaTauri. Don't make contact, guys, but I trust them. Yeah, going on with his race as we now have Pangri. Oh, completely missed this. Pangri trying to overtake Jesper for the lead. Still 10 laps to go, very close behind. Goes a little bit onto the grass. Very hard to overtake around that corner. Okay, Sachi goes into the pits. Maybe wearing out his tires a bit with those spins. Jesper just being able to keep it in front of the Alfa Romeo as he goes very wide. Must be a warning at least. Don't know how many each driver has, but yeah, watch out. As now with DRS onto lap 27 into the Senna S's. Does it work for him? Yes it does, but now Jesper has DRS again, so we don't know what will happen here. The other Alfa Romeo also close behind, as well as the both Ferraris and Pachuca. Losing a bit of time now, Jesper. Still my driver of the day though. Started P12 I think. As now the Aston Martin gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Yeah, really watch out for those. You could win or lose the race by penalties. As now the Alfa Romeo of Hungary sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:08.8. As Kaisachi gets another penalty, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Yeah, so his race going downhill very much after those spins and penalties. But if I was him, don't retire. Still a big chance of points. You only need one retirement or one crash, and you still have that 1 point to get. As he now puts in the fastest lap of the race again, hoping to steal it from the other guys. By quite a large margin, by the way. The only other driver in the 1/8 is this guy, the Alfa Romeo, Pangri. 4/10 slower than Kaisachi, as we now have a battle between these two. Jesper goes wide, obviously gets a worse exit for this straight. Ooh, it's really close between these. Let's get onto the car of Maciek. Miguel trying to overtake Jesper, but he gets overtaken by Maciek in the Ferrari. Still side by side. Keep it clean, guys, as we have a yellow flag. It's Pachuca spinning out. So Pachuca lost it. Miguel overtakes Maciek again. So I don't know what happened to Pachuca, if he made contact with someone or not. As you now have also the Aston Martin off track. So maybe points for Kaisachi, as he puts in the fastest lap again. Bit of contact between Maciek and Miguel. Let's get the gaps again. So it's close between Miguel, Maciek and the other Ferrari of Banks. As now Kaisachi overtakes King as he spins again, goes off track at the corner where these two guys were side by side. Maciek now going past Miguel again. Fastest sector 2. Looking to take the P2 from Jesper. Yellow flags, but I don't see anything on the mini-map. So now Miguel getting overtaken again by Banks. Little bit of contact, as you could hear. Also Jason closing up to these guys. Though Banks and Jason have a penalty, so maybe losing some positions. after we finish this race. Taking a lot of curb, Miguel. So yeah, his teammate just driving away, staying out of these battles. Pangri, as we have a yellow flag again, as the Aston Martin retires. Personally, I wouldn't have done it. Just one crash and you could still get points. And a point is a point, so I don't really see why you would. Yeah, obviously it's his choice. I'm not the guy who makes it for him. No overtakes so far. Jesper keeping it to the left, trying to break that slipstream from the guy behind in the Ferrari, Maciek. As we have the car of King going back onto the track because he tried to retire in the pits, but unfortunately that mechanic isn't in the game. I hope it doesn't affect the race of these guys. Now let's see what Maciek can do to Jesper. Maybe overtaking on this straight, maybe the next one. I think the best option for him is to do it on the other straight, but he does it here. He won't get the arrest here, so let's hop onto Jesper's car. Maybe he can overtake him again here on the second straight. But he's just a little bit too far back. Let's wait till next lap to see what happens between these guys. Yeah, so Pangri just driving away with it. Almost certain to get this race victory. Yeah, and I really don't know who's going to be my driver of the day now. I still think it's Jesper. I think he started P12. We can just take a look. Detail, we have penalties, so 3-second time penalty for Banks, also for Jason and Pachuca. And Kaisachi we have 9 seconds, but he won't lose any position because of that. As we now have Banks going to the inside of Jesper, trying to make that overtake, get onto that podium. He does have to drive away a little bit because of that 3-second time penalty. So if Jesper can keep it close to him, maybe he is able to get that podium instead of Banks. As we have a yellow flag, it's a Mercedes. It was Jason, maybe like making a little mistake. Don't know what happened, to be honest, as he gets overtaken by Edzek. Maybe a little bit of wing damage. Yeah, let's hop onto the position change. Oh no, Maciek. Also with a, yeah, he was the guy who also could pit under the safety car. His only pit stop so far, so great strategy from him too. He would be my driver of the day at the moment. Yeah, it just depends. If Jesper finishes in front of Maciek, he will be my driver of the day. Maciek, if it's the other way around, taking a little bit different line, maybe a little mistake, isn't the best line if you want to get a great exit onto this straight. Both Ferraris now driving away a little as Jesper locks up. So the Alfa Romeo of Pangri gaining 1 position so far. Maciek 11. So great race from him. If he can keep it like this. I hope I don't jinx it. Banks to 1 position gain. Jesper 7, great race from him too. Miguel, I think he started from pole. Yes, he did. Little bit disappointing so far. Edzek 4 places up. Pachuca lost to Ivan, gained 4, and Jason -1. Kaisachi, the biggest loser so far. No, not loser. How do I say this? Not the biggest loser. Wrong word choice. Lost the most places so far. Sounded a bit wrong. Sorry Kaisachi if you hear this. Let's hop onto these Ferrari cars. Banks trying to overtake Masiek, maybe looking to increase the gap to Jesper for that podium. I don't think he will get Masiek. Or he really has to press in that gas pedal. So let's change the details. Let's just keep it like this. So almost one lap remaining so far. Could still change a lot here. So Banks, Masiek, Jesper and Miguel still really close to each other. These are probably the guys who could overtake each other again. Gaps between the other cars increasing a little. Let's see as we go into the final lap. Could be a drag race to the finish. Will be fun to see. Let's look. How's the gap between these guys? Yes, Miguel also close behind Jesper. We'll hop onto Masiek. I think he's a little bit too far back. Miguel also too far back. So I think it will be. Won't be that busy until the beginning of sector 3. As Jason now puts in the fastest lap of the race, trying to steal that point from Kaisachi. So using 3 points, Jesper making a little mistake, losing some time to Miguel. Very close between these guys. I like this camera angle more, so we'll just keep it like this. Ooh, very close between these two guys. We'll just hop on these two. Oh no, Masiek getting a 3-second time penalty. Trying to take too much curb at that first corner. So I think Jesper and Miguel will finish on the podium. As Miguel just overtakes him. Wow. I'm speechless. How close was that gap? Now let's go to the other guys. I'll just look how close the gap was, because he just overtook him. Ivan Belov finishing P9. Oh sorry, Pengri. Oh of course, he is the winner of this Brazilian GP. P2 in the standing still. Congratulations to him. And we have Kaisachi P10. Also let's look who is the guy with the fastest lap. Jesper, driver of the day, also my driver of the day. Maybe Miguel with the last minute overtake. With cell phone, taking pictures, pointing to the camera, lifting the trophy. The Greece driver wins the Brazilian GP. Next to him Miguel, and on the other step of the podium Jesper. Congratulations to these three guys. Alfa Romeo 1-2 by the way. Very good for the Constructors' Championship. Four hundredths of a second between Miguel and Jesper. Oh, he must be really pissed. Or not, Jesper still had a great race, so not much to complain about. So we have Pangri winning this race. Congratulations to him. Miguel P2, Jesper just behind him. Banks and Masiek, two Ferrari drives, also very close. 1,100, no, 1/10 between the two. Edsek next to him. I'll just take a look at this. Don't know if we need it. A lot of warnings. Edsek P6, Pachuca P7, Ivan P8, Jason P9, Kaisachi P10, and a few retirements behind them. So guaranteed points. And I still can't believe that finish. Great race. And as I predicted, a drag race to the finish line. So congratulations to both Alfa Romeo guys. 1-2 for them. And yeah, great race so far. Let's see how it goes at Japan next week. And I'll say